What am I, Namix? This is Dr. Love 307. This is going to be another Dragon Ball Super, or Dragon Ball in general, I guess it's more towards Super. Yeah, Dragon Ball Super discussion based on the whole Super Saiyan Blue versus Super Saiyan God argument, or Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Which one is stronger? Because a lot of people, surprisingly, still go on about this topic, and I thought that they kind of gave us enough evidence to basically say which one is stronger. But before we even go any further, D-Free, which one do you think is stronger? Let's just answer that first.
Blue! Team Blue. I'm all Team Blue. All the way Team Blue.
Yes!
And
Team Blue.
No, the thing is, like, you know, it's weird because, like, you know, it's not just because blue is, like, my favorite color, my bad. But it's just interesting when you look at the two forms because it's like, okay, well, this one supersedes the other one. This one comes first. Okay, so we see this. We see how powerful it is. We see it in action versus Beerus. And then they immediately in the next movie kick it to the wayside and have another form come out. And, you know, that kind of raises some eyebrows like, okay, well, why would they do that? And I've never known Dragon Ball to introduce a new form that's weaker than an older form. It doesn't make any sense. And I have a video on my channel that's, you know, just pretty much talking about Vegeta, would he reach the Super Saiyan God form or would he skip it? Pretty much that. And I got a whole litany of comments like, oh, well, because in the video I said something like, yo, I think that blue is stronger and X, Y, and Z. And I got a lot of comments like, yo, okay, well, I think red is stronger because, and it's just, you know, there's a lot of different varying opinions, and then just like, I see stuff like, okay, well, the general consensus is that, you know, that the red form is the actual, pure, true state of the God form, whereas the blue form is pretty much like a watered down version mixed with some Saiyan power, obviously because they're going Super Saiyan, and, you know, I think that pretty much is predicated on the fact that Beerus says, yo, you absorbed part of the God Ki and made it your own. And I think that's pretty much where that whole argument comes from. But I still think it's kind of unwarranted. But no, let me get some of your thoughts and we'll come back, you know, to some of my other thoughts.
All right, yeah. So basically, I think Super Saiyan Blue is stronger. I thought personally that it was obvious that Super Saiyan Blue is stronger once they even showed the transformation. Like when they introduced it, I was like, I literally looked at them. I was like, okay, Super Saiyan God. That looks like the base form. Super Saiyan Blue, or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, that's what it was called at the time. It's a Super Saiyan. Base form to Super Saiyan, I'm assuming it's stronger, you know? Plus, it's the next transformation, like you said. They don't introduce transformations after another one just to say, oh yeah, that one's weaker. That doesn't make sense. They don't train with Whis to get weaker. That doesn't make sense. Like, I overall just personally thought it was just stronger, like, by default. Because, like, you know, you just, I mean, he did absorb the God Ki and everything like that, and then some people even say, you know, oh, like what you said, that he only absorbed part of it, so Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue can't be as strong as Super Saiyan God because Super Saiyan God's full. And some people even say, well, Super Saiyan God is called Super Saiyan God for a reason. Super Saiyan Blue is just a blue Super Saiyan. It's like, but that name is also called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Basically, yeah. You know, adding on to the power, because it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of weird things that go with it, because a lot of people try to say, you know, well, if Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan is Super Saiyan God power with Super Saiyan, how come he didn't do that after he absorbed the Ki and turned Super Saiyan against Beerus and all this stuff? And there's like a lot of questions that go into it, but overall, if you just look at the, basically, I don't know, like the evidence that they have in the series, like in video games, in the anime, in the manga, like there's just a lot of things that kind of hint that Super Saiyan Blue is stronger. Some have actually directly said it in different dubs, and some have like implied it, but I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, and to kind of touch on the name thing, the name doesn't particularly matter in any way, shape, or form. If you think about the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan name, it was never one time directly stated to be the name. That was just literally what the transformation was. And then the merchandise came out and they just rolled with it because the form never had a name. And when it came out, everybody was just like, oh, I don't like this name. I don't like this name. I don't like this name. But it's not really the name. It's just what it was. And so for them to say, okay, the form of Super Saiyan Blue, you know, that's just a little weird too, because it's like, that was a Whis suggestion in the Toyo Taro manga. We don't even know if they will turn around and say that name in Dragon Ball Super. What happens if they don't do that? You know, the name doesn't matter whatsoever, because if they don't say it in the freaking anime, it's gonna be like, you know, well, what is this form actually called? So,
yeah, exactly.
kind of just clearing that up. The name doesn't mean anything whatsoever. But if you're gonna say the red form is stronger, no matter how you try to justify it, like I said, the main thing is that people say, okay, well, this is the pure form, this is the watered down version. No matter how you try to justify it, you're pretty much implying that Goku and Vegeta pretty much spend their entire year or so that they've been, well, Vegeta almost like 10, 11 months now, whatever the case is, the time they've been training with Whis on his planet, they spend that entire time playing catch up when, we've already seen that form go into combat and lose. It's interesting because if you're going to say that, you're completely disregarding how Vegeta said, yo, I don't even want that form. He flat out said, I do not want that form because it lost. That's subpar form. So you're going to say that they're going to spend their entire time playing catch up to get back to a form that has already been proven to be too weak. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
It really just doesn't.
It doesn't. And like, this is even a point that you brought up to me that I didn't even think about. Like, I literally play Xenoverse like at least once a week, and I didn't even think about this. But you brought up the point that when you choose Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue, Goku and Vegeta in Xenoverse, they literally, okay, it's not for the Japanese version, but I'm pretty sure that's what it, what's it called?
I have no
it
idea
translates
about the Jap
to.
version.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it translates to, but they say that this is the power of that beyond that of Super Saiyan God. And then Vegeta says, I'll show you the power beyond that of Super Saiyan God. It's like the same thing.
Even in Dokkan Battle, they say that too. It's just all over the place.
Exactly.
Games aren't the most credible, but it's true. It's all over the place. They say it outright.
Exactly. They said it in Dokkan Battle, like you said. They said it like, because wasn't it like Whis was implying, he was like, if you train long enough, then you can, and you master the Super Saiyan God or whatever, then you can go to Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan
in that form, pretty much. That's pretty much what he said. And then also, when Goku launches a super attack, he's like, okay, so this is complicated. This is the power of Super Saiyan God with Super Saiyan. That's what he says. It implies you're stacking the two together. And it's just like, how do you think this is weaker? I don't know. Like, going back to the thing about Goku absorbing the power versus Beerus, it's weird because a lot of people don't really realize that Goku lost the form for a while. He just went back to regular Super Saiyan, but he was still just as strong. So that means that at that point, he absorbed it and he did not get any weaker. So if he doesn't get any weaker, he stays with that power, trains with that power, masters that power.
Right? Another thing, too, is that, God dang it, I forgot what I was going to say. Please not now. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, that's what it was. In the Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 6, I think it was. It was either chapter 5 or 6. And it said something about, like, Goku and Vegeta have been training with Whis to obtain the next evolution close to that of God's, or near that of God's, called Super Saiyan Blue. And then someone tried to counter me with that, and they were like, oh, that it said close to that of God's, but Super Saiyan God is a God, so it's not as strong. I was like, no. By close to the gods, by the gods, they were referring to people like Beerus, Whis, Champa, Vados, those that are actually like levels beyond Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta are still gods, but like it said, they reached a next evolution by training with Whis called Super Saiyan Blue. Like it,
exactly.
Like, how do you counter that? It's self-explanatory.
Do you remember like a couple of weeks ago? My bad for cutting you off. You remember like a few episodes ago when Goku first showed up on the planet, and he was talking, I believe, to the Oracle Fish. Whis was talking to the Oracle Fish whenever those two were sleeping, and he was like, "Yo, if they're gods, they're this tall, but they have this much more to go to get to the actual level of gods."
I remember that.
That just kind of goes along with what you're saying. Like, they have this level, like this ladder to climb. They're constantly getting stronger to be on par with an actual god. You can look at them as sort of pseudo gods because no, they're not actual godly entities. They're not. But they do have God key. So that's where, you kind of look at them as pseudo gods because, they're utilizing that power, combining it with their own abilities, and that's how they get to where they are. But I don't know, it just doesn't make sense because it's not like we don't like the red form. But if you logically look at it, it just truly doesn't make sense for all the reasons that we stated here. It just doesn't make sense. There's no way. We can't provide you with concrete 100%. Toriyama said blue is stronger than red. We can't do that because I don't even think he'll ever do that. But, it can't be said either way.
I think that honestly, I think he's just I think that he's expecting us to already
know the answer.
Know that it's stronger. It's like he doesn't have to. That's not something that I like. At least I feel that's not something that he should have to directly say.
We never had these questions with Super Saiyan 1, 2, or 3. It was just, oh, that's the next one up, stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Like that would have been like, you know, when he was fighting Frieza and gone Super Saiyan, that would have been like people speculating, is Super Saiyan stronger than Beast form? It's like that, like, what do you? Yes. Like, it's the next evolution. What do you... Like, that's why I'm so confused that this is actually even a debate. Because there were even times where people were like, we don't have enough evidence this, or they haven't even described it that well this. It's like, but if you put 2 and 2 together, if you've been catching up with Dragon Ball ever since the beginning, and then just use your common sense a little bit. I'm not calling anybody that thinks the red form is stronger stupid, but like, I'm just saying, if you put those together, at least in my eyes, it's just clear that Super Saiyan Blue is stronger. Like, there's no way that it's weaker, even by a little bit.
And one thing that will be interesting to note going forward is that, you know, that red form healing ability. That is actually very, very interesting. That will not make the form stronger per se, but if it does have extra catches to it, that's interesting. I did want to mention that because I feel like somebody will comment that, because that's actually very viable. That's like the only viable, you know, argument you could truly make, is that it may have this healing factor. But damn it, I was gonna say something else. Damn it, love, I got your syndrome. Can't hear. I was gonna say something else too. Damn, I totally forgot. But no, I think that that's very viable. As far as the blue form goes, we don't know what all it can do. It really just kind of was brushed over. But like, I think that the way that the red form was kind of just disposed of, it's so fast, like it was nothing, just means that it just wasn't really meant to stick around. And if you look at it, it didn't seem like it was really a good form to be in. It had drawbacks, it had time limits. It seemed like it was the incomplete form, and the actual means to the transformation would have been the blue form. That's what it just seemed like to me. Like, if they, you know, were able to actually get it done properly, the blue form would have been it. And I believe in the movie, you know, they kind of sparked blue for a second before they turned red. So maybe that also implies the same thing. It just seemed like the red form just wasn't the actual means to that, to the end goal for that ritual. It just didn't seem like it was.
See, this is like what I'm thinking, because, you know, like, I have two things to say. One, I think it'd be really interesting if later on in the anime version of Super, or even in the manga version, someone just steps up and say, hey, Super Saiyan God should be the blue one, since we're Super Saiyans and gods in that form, and let's just call the red one like the god form or whatever. But also, what I was gonna say is that I think it's very like this, like what my speculation is that Super Saiyan God is like the shortcut for Saiyans to achieving the god power, and then they can like either absorb it like Goku did, or it's just like a time limit that they only had it temporary.
That makes sense.
And then if they train and master their ki and then do other things like that they've been doing with Whis, then that's how you obtain the true Super Saiyan God, you could say, or like Super Saiyan Blue is what I'm trying to mean. Like, that's just my speculation, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I don't know what you think about that, but, you know, that's kind of what I
think that makes perfect sense. I think that that's just, like you said, I think it makes sense to say that that red form would be a shortcut, because obviously if they ever wanted to do it again, they could. I mean, you know, barring the fact that, you know, I pointed out several times, like, who said Goku can still do it just because he's already a God Ki, you know? That's just my thing. I don't know. It was never confirmed or denied. But, you know, just saying whether or not they can do it again, I imagine that, you know, anybody can become a Super Saiyan God, but it's just, you know, it's handed to you power, versus the blue form is you have to train to obtain it. We don't know if it's a mixture of both of them, like, you know, how to get God Ki. We haven't gotten that far into the series yet at this point to explain that yet to us. But I think that that's a very good point. I think it makes perfect sense that, you know, it could potentially be like a shortcut versus, you know, you having to actually work your ass off to obtain the power. But we want to know what you guys think. Which form you guys think is stronger, for one, and why. We want like long-winded ass explanations swaying one way or another. Please explain
why.
Please.
Like, even if you agree with us and think the blue form is stronger, say why. Because I just really want to know, because a lot of people, even for the people that say the red form is stronger, not all of them have said points that I thought were invalid. Like, some people actually brought up some things where it makes you think, like, that's actually kind of a good point, but still, it's like, whether on red or blue, this is weird, red versus blue, whether you're on red versus blue for the god form, just tell us which one you think is stronger and why. That's all we need. Like, just please. Like, I can't emphasize
Crips
that
versus
enough.
Bloods, bro. That's what it is. No,
Oh my god.
no, I'm not gonna change this into
Oh
a
my
gang
God.
video. But yeah, we just want to know why. You know, if you guys have varying opinions, just let us know. But was there anything else you wanted to add to the video, man?
Blue form for the win.
FT dub. No, so yeah, that's it for us, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.